What's good, YouTube? It's Zach. Week 1 is done in the NFL, so we're going to take a look at Week 2 power rankings. Hope everyone's having an amazing day so far. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting things off with the first honorable mention I have is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals finally winning Week 1, even though it was a very sloppy win and they could have easily lost this game had Cleveland had a kicker. But the Bengals are still going to be a really good football team. I still expect that offense to be in tip-top shape. Joe Burrow is probably going to be up there in the MVP race once it's all said and done. But now, our second honorable mention I have is the Detroit Lions. Lions temporarily removed out of the top 10 just because they did lose to a pretty good Packers team. But if the Lions are continuing to struggle like this on offense, specifically Jahmyr Gibbs, they're going to be in the not honorable category sooner rather than later, but I still believe it's too early to at least not give them an honorable mention. And final honorable mention team we have is the San Francisco 49ers. Very good division win over a decent Seattle Seahawks team, but the only reason they're not in the top 10 is because there's injuries to Brock Purdy and George Kittle. I thought about giving this spot to the Indianapolis Colts, but I decided to go with the 49ers just because I still believe they're a way better team than the Colts. But if the Colts somehow win week 2, then they're going to be right up there in the top 10. Without further ado, let's get into that top 10. Starting things off at number 10, we have my Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be like 2022 all over again, where they win a lot of one-score games and just somehow manage to get 10 to 11 wins and make the playoffs just to get first rounded. But the first 3 quarters of that Vikings-Bears game was not pretty for my favorite team. Then the fourth quarter happened where the Vikings went out and put 21 points on the board. Caleb Williams struggled against the blitz. And for now, the Vikings end up at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. You guys are looking and still see the Chiefs down there. If you guys want to see NFL standings, just Google NFL standings. That's where you'll see the Chargers above the Chiefs. But I still believe that the Chargers are a really good football team. I'm upset about Amari and Hampton's performance just for fantasy football purposes, even though I won both leagues. But without Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt performed outstanding at that left tackle position. So the Chargers end up at number 9. Coming at number 8, we have the Denver Broncos. Predicted this game pretty much on the head here as they got 6 sacks on rookie quarterback Cam Ward from 6 different players. The offense did have 4 turnovers, but as long as their offense is able to return to like middle of the pack, then the Broncos are going to be a very dangerous team because I expect them to have the number 1 defense by far. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have the Washington Commanders. I don't believe I moved the Commanders up any spots just because they did play the New Jersey Giants, but they made Russell Wilson look really scared back there behind that terrible offensive line. And the Commanders are going to be probably the second best team in the NFC East, and I expect them to make at least the wild card once again, but everyone's got to pump their brakes a little bit. Yes, they did make it to the NFC Championship game last year, but that feat is almost not manageable unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. Washington ends up at number 7. Just outside the top 5, I had to go with the Kansas City Chiefs at the number 6 spot. They fall 2 positions. They did not look great at all against the Chargers in Brazil. I'm going to chalk that up just a week 1 rustiness. But now, with key injuries to Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is still suspended. Patrick Mahomes has to get some of that magic to work in order to keep the Chiefs' head above water until they get some of those guys back. But the Chiefs probably not going to fall outside the top 10 unless they start out like 0-2 or 0-3. Here we are in the top 5. Coming at number 5, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pretty similar to the Bengals here, where they would have probably lost their game had the Falcons had a kicker. But the offense, especially Emeka Egbuka, pretty much nailed that on the head too. He was the most ready wide receiver coming out of this year's NFL draft. Baker Mayfield was just lighting up the field. Even with a really bad rushing game on Sunday, the Buccaneers still remain a top 5 team, and that offense still has unbelievable potential. As long as their defense can remain league average, I do think they're a sneaky NFC Championship team. Coming at the number 4 spot, I went with the Green Bay Packers. In only 29 snaps, Micah Parsons was still able to get 3 quarterback pressures, and he literally gunned down Jared Goff for his first career sack. Lambeau Field went into a frenzy. They made the Lions look like a junior varsity squad. As long as Matthew Golden can become that wide receiver 1, and if Christian Watson can remain healthy enough for 1 season, the Packers are going to be probably contending in the NFC and have a real chance at making it to the Super Bowl, and that pains me to say it. For 3 spot, I have the Baltimore Ravens. As soon as I saw where that game was going on Sunday night, I knew that these 2 teams are going to stay in the top 3 no matter what. Usually when you put up 40 points in the NFL, you're going to win the football game. Not sure what happened in that fourth quarter for the Baltimore Ravens. A very rare Derrick Henry fumble. They were able to run the ball. Lamar Jackson looked really solid, but that defense got gashed. Again, they're playing Josh Allen, so not really much you can do there. But the Ravens still one of the 3 best teams in the NFL, in my opinion. Coming at the number 2 spot, I have the Buffalo Bills. Going back and forth between the Bills and the Eagles, and I just switched Bills back to number 2 just because, I mean, allowing 40 points per game is not a good stat line to start, but Josh Allen is proving that he can win any game in the regular season, and hopefully he can finally dethrone Patrick Mahomes if he's able to get back to the postseason. They're going to be able to just because the AFC East is really bad, but I'm just saying, like, if they play the Chiefs in the playoffs, Bills, they're coming in at number 2. And at number 1, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Very weird game that they had on Thursday Night Football, which felt like an eternity from now as I'm recording power rankings, but they're still the best team in the NFL. They have arguably the most unstoppable offense when everything is clicking. I know A.J. Brown only had 1 catch for 8 yards in that home opener, or season opener rather, but Eagles just proving that they're going to be able to defeat anyone on any given day, and that's all you can ask for really when you're playing in the NFL. That's all I have for you today. This is my current top 10 with my 3 honorable mentions being the Bengals, Lions, and 49ers. Let me know in the comments section if you think I should have put the Colts in the top 10, or is there someone in this not honorable category that you thought that should at least earn an honorable mention. I only decided to do 3 honorable mentions just so the whole list is, skewed. Other than that, it's been Zach, and I will see you all tomorrow for Thursday Night Football. We're going to be live streaming. Make sure you tune in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.